going to call this meeting to order, and we have the minutes from March 28th.
I would move that we approve the select board minutes from our meeting of March 28th.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have warrants for payment. We have warrant 21, the payroll, 21P, Conservation Commission, 12. What would you like to do?
All right, well, I'll move we approve warrants 21, 21P, and Conservation Commission number 12.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, so warrant 21 is for $48,513.10. And that went towards fuel for the highway department. $31,434 was a loan repayment for the new fire station. There's an item in there for repairing and replacing some of the covered bridge lights. And that was done, the Energy Committee's Stan Howe and some of his, I don't know if there were other Energy Committee members or just friends of his working on that, and they repaired those lights and got them back into working action. Let's see. The usual bills from Green Mountain Power, a couple loads of gravel, our rescue monthly payment, and our sheriff's monthly payment. So, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So, we have some members of the West Dummerston Volunteer Fire Department here to talk about some business. Want to come up? Sure. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
You know everybody?
Yes.
Do you know?
No.
Yeah, hi,
Yeah, fine,
Rachel.
yeah, I know.
Nice to
All right,
see you.
nice to see you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, what I have here is a title for our rescue truck, 2008 Ford. We have a deal going on with one of our from E1, Garth Brooks. He has a vendor that will buy our truck for $54,000. And it's a almost 11-year-old truck. And we'd like to replace that. Due to this, it would cost no taxpayers any money or the department. To trade it out to do that, to get a sister truck to what we have for a brush truck. A 5-man cab, 4-man cab, 2-door, 4-door. To quicken our response. A lot better going for our department. Be just like our brush truck, but with a cap on it to put all of our equipment in it. It'll be able to respond to rescue calls. You guys are more apt to grab it, and the way our department is set up now, it'd be a lot easier to go around on our roads. It's not big as, our one is like a big box truck, and the equipment we have on it, we can put onto our new truck, which would save us a lot of money too, with the equipment we have, because we won't have to put a generator and everything onto this utility. We can put it onto our fire truck. So we're trying to downsize a little bit, but make things easier for us as a fire department. And we figure this is a great deal for us to do with this truck of this age, with this price. And if we keep going, if we aren't able to do this, we're gonna have a truck that really is not useful to us as we're going on in time with our department. So we find this a really great deal, which would not cost us taxpayers or anybody any money. And that's about it. And we'd just like to get permission to do that, because you hold the title of it with us. And if we could, with your grant, if we could do that, grant your permission.
Anybody have questions?
So is there a time frame?
Yes, we have, about 2 weeks left.
Yeah, we got, so the vendor that we're working with through E1 is the vendor that is going to be building our new engine. And when he was down, we were going through the final specs. We mentioned it to him, and he goes, absolutely, let me see what I can do. He got back to us on March 31st and said, if you can do this by the end of April, we'll get you $54,000. So it's.
Do you know
it's
what the truck cost? I mean, what was it
It was,
purchased for?
VY put 75
yeah, I think it was,
into it, I don't know how
the
much.
total was about
it
110 or so it's about half the value it was.
Okay, yeah, just wanted a
Yeah.
ballpark.
Yep,
Yeah.
about 110.
There's things we can take off the truck to put in brush truck to rails and everything, so we won't have to purchase that equipment. So it's pretty cut and dry. We're getting a better truck to suit our department and this town. Something smaller and downsizing and just keeping things neat and clean. That's all we're trying to do to better things for the department in the town.
Is this kept over in West Dummerston?
The brush truck, the new brush truck will be coming over to the center station and utility will be at the west.
Okay.
So the brush truck will be coming here, we've got to get a few more things for the brush truck, do some training with it, then we'll come over to the center station.
So Rick, can we sign this title on the 25th? That gives you enough time to get this done?
We need to call Garth, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't, he said by the end of the month, so as long
He
as.
said we had 30 days and then
Yeah, and that was March 31st, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's a Wednesday, the 25th, so you'd
Yeah.
still have 3 business days, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. I don't know if, you need to mail it or whatever, but our
Scan it and...
next
Yeah, we could
meeting,
definitely
Yeah.
scan.
Does that give you enough time? Because we, just for procedural, we actually need to, even though there's no money
Yeah.
involved,
Yeah.
it's,
The warning, the public meetings.
yeah,
we
the warning, the
understand,
public
yes.
meeting, the open meeting laws.
I think our consensus is support of,
Yeah,
you know,
we appreciate
any
that.
problem with it, doing this, or?
No, my only question was this an anticipated expense for a couple years down the road? I mean, I know this offer came up now, but was this something you're planning to do eventually, or?
Really, it's the way the truck is. If we don't, this price here, if we wait any longer, 54,000 for this truck, it's not gonna happen.
Right, but was this something you were kind of planning for in years to come? Because it sounded like this truck needed to be upgraded.
So the life expectancy of our trucks is about 28 years.
Okay,
So it is, we're ending the cycle quite early, but there
Okay.
was no capital replacement plan for this.
Okay.
The engines, we have a cycle through the capital budget, but the utility truck, rescue, and the brush do not have that.
I see, okay.
sounds like this truck you got is just a good deal because VY was putting a lot of money
Right.
into it.
Yes,
This might
yeah,
be-
it really, it doesn't suit our needs at this time. It's, and the truck we'd be getting now will be more suit this town and our department.
Yeah.
And more comfortable for the guys to drive where our roads are and just all been around truck.
Yeah, it's hard to turn down a truck when somebody's paying 3/4 of it for you,
Yeah.
But now I can, if you're trying
Yeah,
to,
and if
it's
you
more
remember-
targeted towards Dummerston.
Because we had, you remember what we had before the 1974 bread truck?
I heard stories about
Yes.
that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That truck.
Yeah.
I went on a maiden voyage with that when George Duke was chief.
So for us, it's more, if you can wait till the 25th, that's our next regular meeting, we can warn it.
Okay.
The alternative is we warn a special meeting to try
which
to.
we could do, so determine if that works.
Can you check with E1 and just see if you can
Yeah.
start the whole process pending that?
Yeah, I've reached out to him and said, it sounds good, we have to talk to our select board because they owe them the title, so it sounds like we can get all the paperwork, everything lined up, ready to go, and then when that's signed, we'll be
Yeah,
Okay, because it seems like we're
in consensus.
going
Yeah.
to be, we have a consensus here. So if you check with them, if we need to warn a special meeting, then we can do that for next week. Or if the 25th gives you enough time, then we'll just do it on the 25th.
All right, I will reach out to the sales rep tonight and
Yeah.
hopefully have an answer by tomorrow.
Okay.
great.
We'll
Let you know and.
Yeah, so
Okay.
just so we can warn it, especially if we need something for next week, we need a couple of days to get it
Absolutely.
properly warned.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but we'll do that if that's what the word you get back.
Yep.
I really appreciate your time since we weren't on the agenda tonight, so but we really appreciate you
Wow,
doing
we
it
were
for
just
us.
looking for something to do.
Let's see you on the fire department tonight. No, but we appreciate it
I'm
very
glad you
much.
found the title.
Me too,
Yeah.
yes.
Hang on to it.
You want me to hang on to it for you?
if you want to, if we
Well,
do
he's
it.
probably already signed it, so.
No, I haven't signed it yet, we'll do it together.
Okay, yeah, you hold on to it then.
And just so you know, the fire truck order went fine, and we should see it by the first of the year.
Okay, we were
Just so you
hoping
know,
for it.
just so you know,
the
for
big
your
Christmas
information, so.
party, though.
Yeah, we hope for a ride in it.
Yeah,
No, it's no problem whatsoever. Yeah.
yeah. How many hours to become a level 1 fire?
180.
I'm sure you got plenty of time with all
You
this.
know, we are doing a firefighter 1 course in the fall.
Where do those get advertised?
So the State Fire Training Academy, Vermont Fire Academy, goes out to every county and solicits information on what do you want to do for a class. And I believe Windham County is going to be putting in for a firefighter 1. And so they're going to look in Windham County where is the most need and want, and they'll host it at that station or in that area. So, but yeah, that'll come out through the Fire Academy to us, and then we can advertise. So if anyone's interested.
So if there are any people in town, you can even take people from neighboring towns if they're
Yes.
interested.
It's gonna be a border town in Dummerston,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, and how old do you need to be? What's the
We
lower?
have a junior program that's, you can come on at 14 years old,
Mhm,
and you can be an interior, if you're trained, at 18.
mhm.
And so this level 1 training in September,
Yeah, it's going to start probably September.
Is-
Geared to 18 plus.
18 plus.
Although you can be younger, you just can't do the live burn at the end.
Until you turn 18.
Mhm.
That's how a lot of it works at high school, then they'll go back and do the live burn after the high school program if they're only 17, when they go through the regular high school program.
Do you have any upper age limits?
Nope.
No, look at us.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Thank you, folks, we appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. We'll hear from you soon. Let us know.
Yes,
what they
as soon as I hear from Garth, I'll send an email to the select board email.
Great, good.
We'll get going.
Okay, we'll take that.
Thanks so much.
Yep,
Coming
have a
by.
good night.
Yeah, good luck with the new truck when you got.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, we don't have a road foreman here. Did Lee speak with you?
I talked to him briefly today. He's under the weather right now, so he, I mean, just, quickly what I got, they did what they could the day after, or actually the night the storm started. And then after that, really is waiting on the power company, because I guess what the protocol is that any tree that's touching a line or anything like that, they just don't do anything. The power company does everything. They do the power, cut the tree, get the brush out of the way. I guess that took about 3 days to get that squared away. And then they have it going back around now, clearing that brush that the power company's taking care of, and I think they're gonna finish that tomorrow, is what he is projecting. So I think it's all more or less cleaned up. They opened the roads they could, and the roads that had power issues, that's
They
what
had
they
to wait.
couldn't touch, they had to wait.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Right.
Yep.
It was a big storm.
it was,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot of down trees.
I heard East West Road was just crazy.
Yeah.
He did. I didn't look because I'm a safe driver like you. But I heard on East West Road coming up, there's a lot of trees.
Yeah.
Down on the side over there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's a storm. The probably in the next 2 weeks, he's going to start taking the measurements over in the village, just to start, depicting, how that paving's going to go, where the grinding's going to be done, and getting measurements out. So I would suspect probably in May. That's when he'll start having contractors come and look at the paving project in
For
the West Village.
West Street.
Yes.
Right, what other roads? He was gonna do Sugar House Road, I think, or what?
I thought
Upper
Did we do that?
Dummerston. Is
that we did Upper Dummerston last year. We did Sugar House last year, I thought.
Okay,
I think it's just the village this year.
all right, okay.
I could be, I'll check with him, but I think that's it. That was a pretty good stretch,
Mhm.
through there. So, but it'll be ground, recrowned, and just a matter of determining, how far we're gonna grind it out and stuff and take a look at it, so. But he should be, I think, he'll be around here next week or two to come in and talk to us more about that before we go forward. Then we'll get the bid specs from him.
Yeah. So, is it more, and you may not be able to answer this question, but I'm curious if it's more challenging to pave a road like West Street where you have so many houses right along the road. I mean, most of the roads in Dummerston aren't, that's like it's not a pedestrian road, but it's also not a through road. And so there's a lot more people activity on that road. And so I
guess I couldn't tell the details of traffic control. I think some of the challenge are is that it's got a lot of varying width to it.
It does.
So,
And a lot of parked cars.
yeah, so when we get that, we're gonna have to clean the cars off the street.
Well, that in every driveway.
Yeah, and every driveway
That's
and
gonna
the
be the biggest
drainage into people's and out of people's house. Everything's just really close.
But I don't think that for any paving contractor, it's probably not a big deal.
Right.
No.
So,
It's just, some of the grates, some of the drainage grates, because the road's been paved so many times, and it's probably 6 inches higher than it was when those grates were put in. They've actually, got shims in there moving the grates up, so it's a matter of, I think we really, when he gets to it, we're gonna have to look at it hard. I think those may have the grates come up, get the shims out, and if we can bring it back down to the original.
Yeah, I was thinking more about not that it's hard for the contractor as much as people who live on West Street may want to be apprised of what's happening and how and have confidence in the way it's going to be done. So that they don't, there aren't complaints. I'd like to make it so that there aren't complaints at the end.
Yeah, I think the great grinding down will make it ease better for people on that road. As the road's gotten higher and higher,
Yeah,
there's been
things
some
drain.
drainage problems. So this might help with some of that.
But I think it was, I think it's been, I don't know, like 10 years ago it was probably paved, something like that. And I don't remember it being an issue, as
Good.
far as traffic
Okay.
or people. You gotta let everybody know, hey, this is what's going on. And
This
once
is the timeline.
Once they, I think the difference this time is gonna be the grinding aspect of it. So we're gonna be there an extra day or 2 days or whatever that takes. And,
Good.
but, during the day, traffic goes down quite a bit, in the middle of the day.
At least
so-
there's easy access from one end to the
Yeah,
other, so
yeah.
that won't be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, that'll start, we'll start looking at that. He's, like I said, he's gonna go out and start taking measurements, to fill out the bid specs on it. And then, I'm sure he'll have a lot more information for us.
Good.
But that's the big paving project for this year.
Yep.
Well, I think having Lee tell us about it and tell, how it's gonna happen and why it's important that they're doing it the way they do in a meeting is great, because then it's, it's televised, people can hear about it, they learn about it, if they have questions, they can ask.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe we'll schedule a meeting over in West Dummerston again
Yeah,
for
That'd
that.
be good.
Yeah.
Be a good idea.
yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Have a little street party. Yeah.
It's right around the time of the Geranium Festival, isn't it? Or maybe not quite yet.
Maybe. Let's see, any more on the road foreman's report? Okay. Anything under correspondence for information you'd like to discuss? See that Alex Wilson from the Energy Committee got back to us on the substation request for Velco. He said there were, he could see no problems with it. And then we got an update from, I guess it was the Agency of Natural Resources, saying that the Velco application for modification of the substation was improperly done or was on the wrong format or something, and so they turned it down, and if they want to reapply, they should reapply on using a different format, I guess, or form. So we can look forward to a few more
Take two.
reams of paper coming through. Anything else there? We have nothing under correspondence for discussion and or action. Under new business, we have a catering request from Hazel's at the Scott Farm on June 10th.
And that's a liquor license?
Yeah, or a catering license to cater an event for the United Way.
All right, so I guess I would move we recess the select board meeting and convene the liquor control board.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, here we are as the liquor commissioners.
Put on our different hats now.
Yep. My liquor hat on.
Get your liquor hat on.
Okay.
Perfect.
What would you like to do?
And you had a nice slant to it, so you looked like a good liquor
Like
hat, all right?
Well, do we have that
Yes,
Yeah.
somewhere?
under new business, yes, our green folder. Here it is.
So I would, so that we can have some conversation about it and ask questions, if there are any, I'd like to move that we approve the request from Hazel's for the event at Scott Farm on June 10th from 11 to 2:30.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
So this is a fundraiser for United Way, specifically for their endowment fund.
How many people do they expect, Chairman?
About 120.
Okay.
And so Hazel's is catering
Okay,
it.
from 11 to 2:30.
Yeah.
I mean, this seems to me that it's a pretty ordinary type event to be held at Scott Farm. Doesn't seem like anything terribly out of the ordinary.
120 people seems normal. It's a
That's
lot.
what their permit,
It's kind of a lot.
that's the upper
Upper limit.
Uh-huh.
of their permit.
Yeah.
And I imagine the standard procedure is to put that number on the form so you can accommodate up to that number of people. Doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily mean
Yeah.
being filled to capacity.
Cool. Well, I don't see any trouble with it.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
All right.
so we just put approved, and then this goes to the town clerk, and she'll
Do
take
we
it.
all five need to sign that?
No,
not this one?
actually, we don't sign it at all.
He's just
the-
gonna check.
We just mark approved, and then the town clerk signs it.
Okay.
So we're done with that.
All right. Well, I'll move we adjourn the liquor control board and reconvene the select board.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, go back to my select board hat. We have a letter to the Wyndham Regional Commission for a town plan review request. And this is a standard procedure. Once a town approves a new town plan, it goes to the Wyndham Regional Commission. They have some of their commissioners review it and give their approval usually, or they might make suggestions for the next town plan. And so, we have to go ahead and request that review.
All right. Well, I'll move that we authorize Zeke to sign the letter to submit the town plan to the Wyndham Regional Commission.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion?
Do you know by chance why it goes to the housing thing? Or I guess we just need to know, we're supposed to send a copy of it
To
to
the Department of Housing and Community Affairs. No, I have no idea why
Okay.
a copy goes there.
All right. I guess I'll put a friendly amendment, we ask Zeke to send a copy to the housing committee.
You know, actually, the plan is, we'll sign it tonight, and then a member of the planning commission will take it and send it on to the,
To the Wyndham Regional Commission.
yeah,
Mhm.
Will he also do the housing one?
yes, we'll ask that. Yep.
Okay.
So that requires all of our signatures or just yours?
Just one.
Okay.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, I'll see if this gets to both Wyndham Regional and the Commissioner of the Department of Housing and Community Affairs. That will make good, what do they call that? Bedside reading, or, you know, something you keep on your nightstand?
Right, if you're having trouble sleeping.
For the, yeah, it's the Commissioner of Housing and, let's see. I put, you know, because it was looking like such a short meeting, I put the select board goals, not so much to really go over them, but so we start thinking about them. And traditionally, each year in the spring, you know, when daffodils start coming up, the select board begins thinking about what would they, are there any special projects or that they want to undertake for the rest of the year. And sometimes we've added a road trip. It's one of our goals, you remember that?
I do, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I learned a lot.
Over to the seacoast. No,
No.
we just.
Lee takes us on a tour of
Of the
Dummerston.
town?
Yeah.
Read on all the roads in town? or-
Well, we have to
Oh,
choose
yeah.
kind of
Oh,
a
yeah.
section.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, if there's been a new structure or a new bridge put in, or,
Right.
you know, something that's been done or is going to be done, go and take a look and give him advice, you know, which of course he appreciates. So we can, you know, you can come up with your list of items that you'd like to have considered over the course of the year.
Zeke, are there things in your mind that have kind of been on the back burner?
Well, it's funny that you asked, yes.
Do we have a copy of our current goals or?
Someplace, yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's just in the
I should have
minutes, it's
asked
just,
Oh, there's no document?
no, not really.
There's a page that has.
Because usually it's been like a special goals meeting.
Yes, sometimes we have, but,
Okay.
yeah. I was hoping we could maybe do it here. Under our animal control ordinance, that was written, I think, in 1991. And it's fairly simple and short, but there are a couple shortcomings that make it difficult to address some of the problems that come up between dog owners and their neighbors. That you know, we could either settle with a little tweaking, or we could go through the whole thing and do a makeover. But so I'll send you out a couple. The current animal control ordinance is on the town website. So that's just
That's something
as
on
you
your
happen
mind.
to ask, yeah, that's on my mind.
I mean, one thing I brought up earlier when we were appointing people to town positions was potentially updating those positions.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great idea. I was thinking that could have been a question we could have
Yeah.
asked up at the
Yeah.
Select Board Institute.
Right, and I definitely could just contact them.
Yeah, but just a simple
Yeah.
email or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny you bring that up, because in the VLCT newsletter, the legislative report, I guess just recently the legislature said that the towns are no longer required to have, was it town juror or town
Oh.
agent?
Oh,
Or was it
it
both?
was what Rita was, right?
No, that's
No?
in town service.
Oh.
It's an elected position for a one-year term. We have a town agent and a town juror, I think. It would be, well, because we didn't have, okay, town agent and town grand juror. No one ran this year, but they're saying,
We don't need those.
yeah, there's been specifically one of them, so we'll have to go back and look.
And we also had things like the weigher of coal
Right.
and the,
Right, and so you'll look into
I'll
those
look into
ones.
it, yeah,
Right,
find out what the process is. Or if there is a process.
yeah. I know it's, you know, some people enjoy, it's not a, you don't get called out too often in the middle of the night or, you know, to weigh some coal, so it's a pretty cushy job in
Right.
town.
I mean, it has the nostalgia factor. and
Yeah,
maybe
there is
people
the
wanna hold on to
nostalgia
that.
factor, yeah, yeah. Have anything in?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Not fine.
yeah, nothing's coming to mind for
Okay,
me,
well,
so,
go home.
yeah,
And in the
think
middle
about
of
it.
the night, you think of something, write it down and we'll.
If there is a one pager somewhere, can someone direct me to the right document or the right
I-
minutes or
I'll
the right?
I'll look through
Okay.
and see if I can find an
Okay.
old.
I think our ones from 2 years ago were more specific than last year. Somehow
Okay,
I'm remembering that.
so it's sometime in the spring of 2016.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and if I find a copy, I'll email it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Let's see, under unfinished business, do you have any updates on the village sanitation?
I didn't touch
Okay.
base with Sam. Has there been any activity in terms of people kind of talking about it and
Not
thinking?
that I've heard of, nothing since our last meeting.
Okay, I mean, there were certainly a group of people that were quite excited about
yeah.
it, and I think we'll hear about it, you know, at the point. I mean, is there anything we feel we want to do in terms of encouraging or,
I think we had our
Yeah.
meeting and
Mhm.
let's just see if
Yeah.
people, they have until, I think, the end of May to
Mhm.
have their
yeah,
letter of interest
yeah,
submitted,
Good.
so we'll just keep an eye on that.
yep,
We have, there's still an open position for a town auditor. And so, that,
seems like such a great job for somebody who is wanting to, you know, practice their financial skills and,
well, even if you can just balance your own check.
well, that's what I mean,
No,
you know, I mean,
that's-
it doesn't take somebody with a degree.
Doesn't take someone from Goldman Sachs to
No,
do this.
no,
Oh, yeah.
Are you volunteering?
No, just volunteering to sign.
Oh, okay.
papers.
Actually, and they do receive a stipend. And you were an auditor.
Mhm.
People still talk about you as an auditor, but an audit, if we have a full slate, then there are 3 auditors, and they generally take turns. So they would come in 4 times a year to look through the books. And then the 3 of them work together on the town report, sort of compiling the town, everyone's information that gets sent in and then becomes the town report.
That must be a big job though, that part.
Yes, but,
It's time consuming.
Right.
yes,
So we need someone who has that extra time in January,
Yes.
basically.
yeah. Mhm. So if anyone's interested, they just need to let us know.
I mean, because otherwise we'd have to hire somebody, right? I mean, aren't we
For-
required to have somebody?
Not for auditors, it's, there are 2 elected auditors now, and it just means instead of coming in 4 times a year, they've got to split it.
6,
Do it
yeah.
6 times. And having the third auditor would just make it a little,
I see.
the job a little easier,
Okay.
so.
And I believe they have to be a resident, a town resident.
Okay, I think so too, like a lister,
Right.
yeah. And they would be, if someone was interested, they'd be appointed, interviewed, appointed, and they would serve until next town meeting.
Okay.
Then they could run if they wanted to.
And just, I guess we should just point out that, so the town report, though, it is a big job, but a lot of this stuff is, and Murray, you know this, it's, I guess if I'm wrong, you correct me, but this comes in, it's all formatted,
Yes.
they're just kind of, the information comes from
Oh, okay.
other people,
Okay.
from other, you know, either committees or other agencies in the town, and it's really just more or less
Putting it
formatted
together
into the
and
book.
editing it, yeah.
So they're just the
Proofreading it.
deposit for the information, and goes in here, and then we actually pay somebody else to type it, so they're
And
not.
they should actually do some auditing of it to verify.
Right,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
right, part of
Yes,
that.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And then another big thing is choosing the cover
Yes,
and the color of the binding.
yes, yeah.
Big responsibility, that
Well,
one, you know,
yes,
it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
the cover especially.
yeah, yeah, because that's gonna be there all year. So, anyone have any other business? Well,
All of this time.
You run a good meeting,
I
Zeke.
entertain
Record time.
a motion to adjourn.
I would move, so moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.